Hey guys, it's Chris for AF Golf Store. Today I am in the Tour Truck Valley with Titleist, Duncan, tour fitter, and we're going to take a little look into the new TSeries iron and just also get a feel for what is a day in the life for Titleist here at the Open. So kick off with the latter. So what kind of things are you doing on a day-to-day basis at the Open? How are you servicing your players?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a longer week this week. We're running from Sunday to Wednesday. Sunday's an official practice day, so arriving about 7:30, get the truck open, all the machines set up so that if players are wanting to come on and check loft and lies before they head out. But it's just really trying to check in with all our players and our non-contracted players that are playing product, making sure they're happy. It's obviously quite different conditions to what some of the American guys and some of the European guys even are used to playing in. Having the Scottish Open last week helps because we've kind of touched base with a lot of players. Two irons have been built. We've checked driver settings, turf interaction. They'll kind of see different launch and spin rates this week with irons.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not necessarily changing anything for that, but it's making the player aware of kind of what's happening and why it's happening.
Sure.
But just kind of getting them to dial that in and get used to maybe some different numbers this week.
Okay, amazing. So obviously, as we know, Titleist are the most played driver, ball, wedge and iron as well.
Correct, yeah.
Which is great because obviously the new T-Series irons have just come out. Mm-hmm. What kind of things are we seeing with the T-Series? Right, first impressions from the players. They've obviously had it out longer than we've had it out on tour. Are you still seeing some tinkering going on? Just talk us through some of the irons that are in play this week.
Yeah, I mean T100's kind of our staple on tour here. It's the most used iron on the DP World Tour, but it's been great. This new generation's been really, really good. Slight change in kind of sole and loft to start with, but the big one for us is the new groove pattern and the shorter irons. So
progressive grooves.
Yeah.
Lower irons.
So 7 to wedge in the
7
T100, or 7 to gap wedge actually in the T100. But you're going to see some kind of slightly wider and deeper grooves. So especially when we are in wet conditions and in the kind of semi-rough, we're just seeing better spin retention. So if we can give players more consistent caddy numbers, it's much like the caddies are pretty happy with that as well. Easier for them, but
and would you say last week being at the Scottish was kind of your first true test of seeing those grooves come into action?
No, not at all. We were in Austria earlier in the year, and the range was quite wet and sodden. So it was great to see there because it kind of really stood out to a couple of players. They were like, "Wow, this is much better than what I've got in the bag currently."
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's actually kind of perfect conditions for the player to be like, well, I can't really not put these in after seeing that. And then from the other side, we've had guys that are still in our 620 MBs that have kind of seen players moving into the new ones, and they're like, oh, can I have a hit with that?
Am I right in thinking JT's one of those?
JT's 620s MBs, and then he moves into T100 and T150 in the lower end of the bag.
Yeah, amazing. And talk to me driving iron, because this is obviously another exciting new product for the new generation of irons. Yeah. And being the Open, we've heard numerous players talk about the clubs that they really tinker with this time of year with this kind of tournament would be the longer iron. Mm-hmm. Maybe switching it out from a high lofted fairway wood or a hybrid, and then maybe a lob wedge as well. Mm-hmm. Let's focus on this. What are we seeing this week? More the 505 or more 250?
It'd be more 250 dominant. Players are trying to keep it quite flat and chasey this week, so 250 profile and CG is going to help them do that better than the 505 would. But yeah, it's been very, very successful since launch. Nicholas Norgaard's a pretty big one who's got it in play this week. It was a pretty easy switch for him. He played the prior gen product and he tested actually off-site on his own, and he rocked up at the Scottish last week, said he absolutely loved it, and it was straight in the bag. So he's very happy with it. Main thing is sound and feel for him through the turf. Yeah. Amazing.
And then finally, we've got to mention the GT280. Mm-hmm. So a great addition for the mini driver world this year.
Yeah.
Presumably we're going to see that coming into play this week?
Yeah, I've spoken to a couple of guys this week who've got it in. Dan Hillier, he kind of always switches between mini driver and 3-wood depending on what the course setup's like. Jacob Skov-Olesson's in a similar boat, both them have it in this week. And actually Australian Ryan Peake tested it this week with us as well. He just wanted something easier to hit off the tee, essentially. A little bit more forgiveness.
More fairways.
There's not going to be loads of fairway woods off the deck this week, but there's maybe some bunkers that you want to stay short of with driver, but you still want to get it a decent way down.
What's the general feedback on that?
It's been pretty solid, to be honest. It's the distance that players are hitting it now. It's quite an interesting option for a few guys, but just having something that is bigger in terms of volume, you look down and it kind of inspires a little more confidence than a 3 would, but then you've got more forgiveness just from the mass as well. But it's been very good, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, there we go, guys. A quick insight into the new T-Series irons and what a day in the life is like for the guys here at Titleist during the Open. Thanks again for watching, and remember, if you want to try these irons out, they are now available for a free custom fitting at AF Golf Store.